Good morning. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Wednesday, a short day. That's pretty cool, right? All right, today we are on 5.3. If you can please make sure you have graph paper, there will be graphing that you'll be doing today. So if you don't have your paper ready, you can pause, go get your paper and pencil, and then we're ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna let myself in. Oops. All right, and we're set, and I have my black color pen all queued up, so it is ready to go. Share. Okay. Here we go. All right, so 8.3. Remember that over here, this is for your red resource folder. And really, if you can do it on your own without watching the video, that's where we want you to be. We want you to be able to do it on your own. So if you can, that'd be awesome. If not, you can do it along with me. Okay. So for number 1, this says make an input-output table. So that is X is our input, Y is our output, and fill in 5 X values and the corresponding Y values to create a non-function. So I want to remind you, for a non-function, the easiest way that we have been doing that is to create something that has a vertical line. Okay, so on our graph, we have something, but then it has that vertical line. For our rise over run, this would have a run of 0. And then Y would just keep going up. So this would be our rise. But remember, if we had a denominator of 0, it's that dirty math word, undefined. And we don't want to do that. So that makes it a non-function. Okay, so we just need to have different, we need to have the same X value with different Y values. So the same input, which is going to be X, so maybe that is 2. And it's going to have multiple Y values, and that gives us our vertical line. Okay, so you can make X all 2s over here. We need 5, or you can mix it up and give a couple others, and we'll do another 2. Okay, so over here for the Y, 3, 4, 1, 0, 7. Okay, and here's what I want to point out. So they seem kind of random, but the important thing that we are looking at is for this one, and this one, they are same input, which is our X, with different output, oh my goodness, output, which is the Y. Okay, and that gives us that undefined. So that's what gives us a non-function. All right, going on to number 2. How convenient. There is an XY coordinate plane all set for us to graph on. Now for this one, if I make it a bigger width, can I use a color, please? I'm going to do it anyway. So hopefully I make it thick enough that you're able to see it. Okay, so this says graph the function y equals negative 3x plus 4. First of all, that's good because that is in our y equals mx plus b. It's in the correct form. So I need to know what is my slope and what is my y-intercept. Okay, so my slope, is negative, it's right here, negative 3, and my y-intercept is 4. Now remember, for my slope, any whole number is always over a 1. So if you want to do that for your rise over run, you can. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to go make it bigger, and we will try green. All right, so first thing I need to do is, where am I going to begin my graph? Okay, and I'm going to go to 4. And so you know that's always at 0, 4. It's on the y-axis. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Here's 4. And then I need to do, I bet I can make that even bigger for you. All right, so then I need to do my slope, which is -3, 1. So I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and run 1. Down 3, run 1. Down 3, run 1. Then, I don't have a straight edge. What can I use? Oh, this will work. All right. And then I'm going to connect those. Kind of worked. Oh my goodness. It's all right. All right. And then of course I need to put arrows on the end. Okay. So now to double check, my equation is y equals -3x plus 4. So it crosses the y-axis right here at 4. So yes, that one's good. And it's a nice negative slope, goes downhill. My rise is -3 and my run is 1. So it's good. All right. Did I write big enough for you guys? I hope so. Okay, number 3. Which of the following are functions? Explain. Okay, so we just talked about this. Get back over to a black. For A, oh, there, that's nice, right? It almost looks like I'm writing in a Sharpie. I dig it. All right, so for A right here, not a function. And that's because it has this slope right here, where look at, we have multiple X inputs of 2 with, the same input of 2 for X, and there's many different outputs of Y. So this is not a function. And for the explain, you would say many, you can say Y values or outputs of Y for the same input of X. Okay. B, Y equals -2/5 X. It's an MX plus B form where B is 0. So yes, a function. Yes, a function. Because Y equals MX plus B. And that's our form. Okay, so now C is here. We have an input-output table. So let's take a look here. So we have -4, 3, -1, 5, 0, 0, -1, -5, and 2, 3. All right, so looking at this, it seems okay, but here's what I want to point out. -1, 5, and -1, -5 has 2 different outputs for the same input, -1, not a function. Okay, so you would say not a function because, I'll use my BC again, because input of -1 has 2 outputs. And that's going to be 5 and -5. Okay, so it's pretty legible, nice big writing. Hope it works with the black. It is easier to read, I get that. Okay, moving right along. One of these with the fractions. So here's the deal. I've already done this problem. What makes it difficult are those fractions, but we can do it, okay? So we are just solving. When I look at this, I see that we have only one variable. So our variable is x. What is x? Okay, so I wonder if I can make that big enough. I can just work off of that. I might need more white space. Okay, let's give it a go. So we have 1/6x plus 2/3 equals 1/4 times x minus 6. First thing we have to do is distribute right here. So that's going to give us 1/6x plus 2/3 equals 1/4 x minus, so that's 1/4, and it's really times 6/1. Well, I think my pen might be too fat. I got to go down one. Is going to be 6/4. Oh yeah, that's still fine. Okay. All right, add the opposite. Change that here. All right, so now I have an addition problem on this side and an addition problem on this side, but I have all different denominators. Okay, so what I want to do is get the same denominator and on both sides of the equal sign, because we are going to be combining like terms. All right, so let's see here. So we have a 6, a 3, and a 4. So I know that we can't use 9. Oh, we could do 12. 6 goes into 12, 3 goes into 12, 4 goes into 12. That's our least common multiple. So we need to do times each thing by 1, and that's going to be a fraction. So to get a denominator of 12 for this first one, I need to multiply it times 2/2. So I'm just going to write this again. So 2/2 times 1/6 plus, now to get 2/3, we need to get that 3 to a 12, we have to multiply it times 4. So we're going to do times 4/4. So that's the same as 1 times 2/3 equals. Now these are the opposite, so they both have a 4. So we need to multiply both of those times 3/3 times 1/4 x plus 3/3 times -6/4. Whew. All right. So we have 2/12 plus 8/12 equals 3/12 x. Oh, I left an x out somewhere right here. X and x there. Plus positive times a negative is going to give us -18/12. Okay, you guys good? So now we need to solve for x. Let's first add the opposite. Let's do this one. All right, so let's add, I'm going to scooch this up here. So I'm going to add 18/12 to both sides. And I'm going to put it under this one, plus 18/12. Whoops. There. Okay, so now that's going to give us, on my line, 2, totally going to run out of room. 2/12 x plus, that gives us 18 plus 8 is 26/12 equals, those cancel out, 3/12 x. Okay, now let's get the x's on the same side. So we're going to add a -2/12 x to both sides. -2/12 x. So that is going to give us, oh boy, so 3/12 minus 2/12 is going to leave us with 1/12. Okay, so that's going to be, sorry, so messy. I was trying to write big. 26/12 equals, right, because that cancels out, equals 1 12th x. Okay, you guys still with me? So this, I just moved right up here. Okay, so now here's what's cool. 1/12 x, so it's 1/12 times x. So to get rid of that, we need to multiply times the reciprocal because we're actually dividing. Okay, so we're going to multiply this side times 12 over 1. Multiply, oh, now this arrow's in my way. 12. Oh my goodness, that was so backwards. All right, 12 over 1. Now let's simplify, okay? So this side cancels out. That gives us just an x on that side. So look at this. 12 goes into 12 once. 12 goes into 12 once. Leaves us with nice and neat x equals 26. All right. Now, if that was fast, it was fast. You can rewind and pause and rewatch. Let me shrink it down so you can see all of it together. So now if you would like to pause so you can, that's kind of messy. Hopefully you understood it. If you didn't, rewatch it over and over until you can get that down. Okay. So ultimately, the confusing steps were, let's see if we can get a different color here. How do I do that? Blue. There you go. Let's go to blue. Right, blue. So right here, we are multiplying to get the same denominator. And each of those, if you look at them, they're 1, right? 2 over 2, 1. 4 over 4, 1. 3 over 3, 1. 3 over 3, 1. So we're multiplying by 1, but this is how we get the same denominator so that we can, here we go, add the opposite, same thing down here. Okay. So if you didn't get it, redo it. And I want to challenge you, do that on your own over and over because you got it. It's the same thing that we've been doing, but with fractions. Okay? All right. So that finishes up our classwork and brings us to our homework. And I don't know if I gave myself enough room. We'll see. All right, so let's see. That looks like a good amount. All right, so what you have to do for your homework is you need to solve for y, which means put it into y equals mx plus b form if you need to, and then graph it. Okay, so each time you're going to find values for x and y. Show your work is what the homework says. Another way that you can show your work is to identify your slope and your y-intercept. So you could graph it that way as well. Okay, so number 1, there we are. Number 1 is y equals negative 3x plus 4. Okay, so couple things. First of all, we know that our b, well, let's see here, our m is negative 3. Didn't we just graph this one? And our y-intercept is 4. So we know that. But in the example, what it does is it shows us to find 2 different points to check. Okay, so you could do that and you can make an XY table. Okay, so you would do like if x were 0, what would y be? Well, we already know because we understand our b. And then you could plug in, I think the example shows 2. And the way that you would show that work is you would plug it in to this equation. So it'd be negative, I don't know why there's that dot because I hesitated. So negative 3 times 2, so that's our x value here, plus 4. So that's going to be negative 6 plus 4 is going to be negative 2. Okay. So the other thing that you could do is just to simply graph it. All right. So Oh, you guys didn't like the blue. I think it's because it was so small. So hopefully, I don't know, the green seemed to show up well last time. So we'll give it a shot. Okay, so if we were to go off of where we begin, oh, and change the highlighter. Oops. All right, is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's this one right here, 0, 4. That's our y-intercept. And then go look at 2, -2. So we have 2, -2. Okay, does that work? Well, let's check it with our slope. So our slope is, here it is, -3, and that's over 1. So we're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, run 1. Down 3, 1, 2, 3, run 1. Look at it, matches up. So that is our graph. Hopefully you have a ruler or a straight edge that you are using. Mine, hopefully you can see it well enough. So maybe I can use my calculator as my straight edge. Let's give it a shot. All right, here it goes. It's a touch screen, so whenever I touch, yeah, that's pretty good. All right, and of course, at the end of your graph, you have to put your arrows. Okay, so number 1, here's what I'm going to put up to you. On the homework, it says to do this XY chart. Excellent way. We also have practiced over and over doing slope and y-intercept. So which way you feel most comfortable, or if you want to challenge yourself and do both, or to check your coordinates, that's awesome as well. Okay. All right, let's erase. Okay, number 1, done. Okay. Okay, so number 1, we are good. So now we are on number 2. Is y equals 2x minus 1, and we're going to add the opposite. So that's plus a -1. Okay, so looking at that, we have m equals, where should I write that? Right here is fine. M equals 2 and b equals -1. My xy table go like this. Oops. So why do I always do 0 for my first x? Well, it gives me my y-intercept, and it should be my b. So look, if I put in 2 times 0 plus -1, then that's going to equal -1. Okay, so that's my first point. Is 0, -1 is right here. Okay. So now for my next one, 2 is easy to use. You plug that into the equation. 2 times 2 plus -1 gives us 4 plus -1 is going to be 3. Okay, so remember, so each of these, that's just an XY coordinate. Okay, so then 2 and 3 is right here. Oh, well, I don't know. Does the black look good? Better than the green? It might be more bold. I don't know, because you guys can't tell me. So, yeah, let's see here. All right, so if I were to use my slope in my beginning, so I do see that this is a positive slope. So it's going to be puff, puff, positive, and we begin at -1. So there that is. So if I were to count up, rise 2 over 1, go back to my black, rise 1, 2, run 1. There it is. Yep, it matches. So there is my slope. And let's see if I can get it straight on here. Ugh. Let's see if I can just freehand it better than that. Okay. Pretty good. All right, there's my line. Missed right here. There. All right, it bugs me it's not straight. Hopefully yours is straight. All right, number 2. And there's a lot of little marks here. Okay, moving on to number 3. Did 2, now we are on 3. Oops. There we go. All right, so number 3 says y equals 3x. I think these are all in mx plus b form, so we don't have to do anything. Easy peasy. Minus 3. I'm going to make that plus a negative. So my m equals 3 and my b equals negative 3. Okay, so if I were to do an xy table, first one I'm going to do is x is 0. So I'm just taking this equation here to find out what is y. So if it's 3x, so it's 3 times x plus negative 3. So of course that is negative 3. Awesome. That is my y-intercept and it matches. Next one, I'm into using 2, so let's just use that. 3 times 2 plus negative 3. So that equals 6 plus negative 3, which equals 3. Okay, so now let's graph it. Maybe if I went even bigger. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Okay, so 0, negative 3 is my y-intercept. Oh, that's pretty good. It's not centered. That's pretty good. All right, and then 2, 3. It's good. All right, so now let's check it with our slope and y-intercept. Okay, so our y-intercept we already know matches. Now let's do our slope. It's a positive, so it's going uphill. So if we were to count up, so we rise 3, 1, 2, 3, run 1. Yes, 1, 2, 3, run 1. So it matches. Okay, I'm going to draw a line with this big fat tip. All right, let's see here. Use the calculator. Oh, that made it go wild. All right, that did not work. There. All right. I touched something funny. It's just hard with the touch screen. Okay, I'm going to freehand it. There. Best line yet. All right, we know what to graph now. Cool. All right, that was number 3. 2 more to go. Erase. All righty, there we go. Number 4. All right, now to write, I do have to make it smaller. Okay, number 4 is y equals negative x plus 4. So we have a slope of, it's right here, negative 1. And we have a y-intercept of 4. Okay. Make our xy table. So if we start with x is 0, so we would put it in. So really it is negative 1 times 0, because that's negative 1 right there, plus 4 equals 4. And that matches. Yep, that is our y-intercept. Then I'm just going to stick with 2 every time. If our input is 2, then we would have negative 1 times 2 plus 4. And it says a negative 2 plus 4 equals 2. Okay, so I feel like this big one is like a bingo blotter. I like it. Bingo. All right, so 0, 4 is our first coordinate, and it's also our y-intercept. So I know it is on the y-axis. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, missed. All right. So remember, I have this funny thing. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good enough. All right. And then we have 2, 2. I'll be here. Okay. So let's see if it matches our slope. Okay. So that's right here. So yes, we agree that our y-intercept is at 0, 4, and then we have a slope of -1. And so what that is slope is -1 over 1. So rise over run. Okay. So we go down 1, run 1, down 1. Yay, matches. Down, run, down 1. Okay. So it is a negative slope. And draw my line. There we go. Right. Good. Oh, that graphs well. I'm happy. Happy. All right. And on to number 5. Well, I could erase it quicker. It's all right. Maybe it gives you a little break in between. All right. Last one to graph, number 5. And I believe we do have a 6. Oh, yes, 6, 7, and an 8. Woo! But wait, there's more. All right, number 5. Y equals -2x. So when you look at this one, you should recognize that the b is what? Here's where our b would be. So it's actually a +0. So that way we know that it crosses the y-axis at the origin at 0, 0. So our slope is -2 and our b is 0. Okay, here's our xy. Plug in a 0 for x. And move that up. B equals 0. So if we plugged in the x, it would be -2 times 0 equals 0. Okay, so there's our first spot there. That's the origin. And if we were to do 2, then we would have -2 times 2. So it's going to be -4. Oops, why did I put the 2 there? I don't know. So then our y would be -4. Okay, so our origin, or where we begin, is at 0. We have another spot at 2, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll check that with our slope. So our slope is -2 over 1. So we go down 2, run 1, down 2, run 1, and it matches up. Cool. Funny angle here. There is our line, and it continues to infinity and beyond. So we have our arrows at the end. All right. There you go. All right, our next section is with reflection and a translation. Okay, so here's our problem for 6, 7, and 8. We are using the same triangle here, triangle ABC. So I'm going to reproduce that on this larger graph. Okay, so we have B is at -2, 3. There's B. A is at -2, 1. And C is at -1, 1. Okay, so there is our, I had to draw that in. There we go. Okay, and let's see if I can make this a little smaller so I can say this is B. To get these correct, you do have to have the points labeled correctly with the ABC, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to reflect across the y-axis, okay? So this one is y, this one is x. So it means we're going to reflect over from over to the quadrant on the right, the first quadrant, okay? So we're going to reflect it. It's just like that y-axis is a mirror. Okay, so across the mirror, this one here is going to be C. This one will be A. And this one here is going to be B. Okay, so they should look like a mirror image. All right, and really what that's doing with the coordinates is it's moving the x value from negative to positive. Okay, so the next thing, so that was number 6, and you can designate that on your paper. You can write like a 6 inside. That just looks like I colored on the inside, but you can put a 6. So that's number 6. Okay, number 7, we are now going to reflect across the x-axis. And we go with the original triangle right here, because this one over here is now, that's like A1, B1, C1. Okay, so we're going to go across the X. So remember, it's a mirror image. Oh, I'm still in the big one. So this is going to be A. This one is C. And down here is B. Okay, so then that one is number 7. Now we are going to translate triangle ABC 4 units right and 3 units down. So that's the same as if we're going to say x plus 4, y minus 3. Okay, because that's our 4 units right. That makes it plus, and then so the right is plus, 3 units down is the minus 3. Okay. So I think to track where I'm going, I am going to change my pen color. I'll try red and make it big. Okay, so from ABC, 4 units right and 3 units down. So let's start with A. So we're going to go A. So watch I plot 1, 2, 3, 4 units right, and then 3 units down. 1, 2, 3. That is our new A. Okay. Now for B, I'm going to start up here. So here's B. Oops, I shouldn't have done that one because we're not counting yet. All right, 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 units down. 1, 2, 3. That's our new B. And I'm going to draw the line between A and B so we can see that. Now let's do C. So C, oh, I kind of feel like I need a different color. So here's C. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3. 1, 2, 3. And we'll make it go back to red so that they can match. That is C. There is number 8. All righty. So that is reflection and translation. All right, awesome. I hope you're able to read it easier this time. I hope that you guys are having a good day and working hard. I want you to work hard when you do these math videos. So remember, whenever you're doing work, it's for your own benefit. And right now we need to be flexible. I appreciate your cooperation. I wish I were there with you, but it just is what it is right now. So I have to make the best of it. All right. Let's see. So I hope you guys are healthy and safe. Make it a great day. And in all you do, remember who you are. Remember what you stand for. Lead by example. I miss you guys. Bye-bye.